Today's art goals are to use geometric lines and shapes to create my own constellation. We're going to learn about cool colors and use them in a galaxy background. We're going to try using the wet on wet watercolor technique to create blooms, and we're going to use different art tools to develop a mixed media work of art. First, wet the page and activate your watercolors by getting them wet with a little bit of water. When you touch these wet watercolors onto wet paper, they create what are called blooms. We're going to do this all over our page and create lots of layers so we get a nice dark background. Then I printed off some silhouettes and I have cut them out. You can surely do this freehand, but a little tracing will help our students along the way to get their silhouette shape on the page. By all means, freestyle it if that is your skill set. Now what we're going to do is use these paint pens to really bring those outlines to the front of the page. See how we are using lots of little lines and the outer shape becomes very geometric in nature. A constellation is like a huge dot to dot. Once everything is outlined, I'm going to put 3 or 4 randomly placed dots in the middle of the page. This is where we are going to sort of connect the dots to make these interior geometric shapes. I also put some dots around the perimeter just to make it look a little more star-like. And then I'm just taking anything for a straight edge and creating these little geometric shapes, connecting the points in the middle to different points on the outside of the animal. There's no rhyme or reason here. I am just intuitively choosing where I want my geometric shapes to form. They are connecting that middle point or one of the middle points to the exterior of the animal. But as you can see, we have a lot of geometric type shapes all over our being. The next step is just to take some regular old chalk and give this a little halo glow. This is going to really bring forth that galaxy constellation vibe and make it kind of pop off the page. We're playing with some positive and negative space here, but also creating a really strong focal point. I've just taken a Q-tip or my finger and blended some of those lines so it looks really glowy. You're definitely going to need a messy mat for this, and what we're going to do is frame in the edges by using some black paint on a paper towel and sort of just rubbing along the exterior of the page to create this nice frame. This creates a nice contrast and really brings that animal focal point right to the center of the page, making it really, really stand out. And now for everybody's favorite, the stars. I'm going to dip my toothbrush into water and water down some paint. And I'm not just going to flick it on the page. I'm going to hold my page upright and then begin to flick the bristles onto the page to create stars. Now in my class, my students are only allowed 2 rounds of this, just 2, so we don't go crazy. So you can just go ahead and use all of the paint on that brush and make it all galaxy-like. And just like that, you have your very own constellation.